Hi folks, I am in Arkansas and at the Iron Mountain Corps of Engineers campground. There's a lake here. I don't know what lake it is, but it's big. The camp host has a boat, and he told me that it takes to go from, and he said his boat will go 60 miles an hour. And to go from one end of the lake to the other is almost an hour. So it's a pretty big lake. I showed up here without a reservation, which during the week, you don't have to worry too much about that, at least not this kind of place. If you get out around the big national parks, you know, you'll have a struggle. I am in spot 24, I think it is, and right over there's my truck. I've got my jewelry trailer with me. That's the shower and the restroom. And I'm supposed to be at site 10, and site 10 is it's straight over that away, right over there, just not very far. But it looked like this site might be just a little bit more level. The sites aren't bad, but they're this one probably drops a foot from front to back, and so I'm pulled up close to the road, and I've got 3 to 4 inches from front wheels to back wheels on my truck. 3 or 4 inch drop, probably 3. That means I have to, you've got to be flexible. I will sleep with my feet towards the tailgate. I like sleeping the other direction, but you know, you got to be flexible because you want to try to be as comfortable as you can, and very few sites are perfectly level. I have some leveling blocks. I didn't bring them with me. I don't like messing with them. They're kind of a pain in the neck. There's no cell phone signal here. They're very minimal. No Wi-Fi, of course. I'll show you what I'm doing. It is an electric site, so I don't have to run on battery power, which is kind of nice. And it was cool last night. This is my second night on the road. This is Silver Dollar City 2025, and I'm at the beginning of my trip. I stayed in Tennessee last night, but here's what I do for internet signal. I've got, you can see there's a little bit of a sky, open sky there, but over my truck, it's pretty obstructed. And that's another reason I took this site instead of site 10. And there's only one other camper here. I came in after hours. And I also found out once I got here that I'm arriving on the camp host days off. He's got off Monday and Tuesday, and it's Monday. I lose track of time. His rig is right across from the office, and he's the one with the key to the office. So he unlocks the office when he feels like it. But he seems to be a nice guy. We shot the bull for about 45 minutes before I came to find my site. Getting in here was kind of a pain. And by getting in, I'm not talking about the drive. This is very close to I-30. I'm probably within five driving miles of Interstate 30, and I'm pretty close to Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's not too far down the road. I'm not going to cook in it. Even though I've got an electric side, I could pull out my electric skillet and cook something, but I just don't feel like it. I don't make a whole lot of dinners whenever I'm on the road, not too often. Because by the time I'm done, if I've been driving all day, I've been munching on stuff and I just don't feel like eating dinner. It's not a terribly healthy way to be, but that's the way it is. I forgot my microphone, so making videos, I'll probably try to buy another microphone. They're not too expensive. I think I paid 20 bucks for this one. It's a USB microphone. It seemed to work pretty well, but it's in Virginia. I'm going to sell some silver before I make any purchases because I've got 2 months of campground rental, and I'm going to be paying a little over $500 each month for the campsite. So I can pay the first month, but I need to sell some silver before I can pay that second month. But that'll be all right. Yeah, I won't have any trouble with that because I'll be able to sell plenty once I get there. This will be my 3rd year at Silver Dollar City. They're bringing me in early. The Harvest Festival, that's what I'm going for, is a Harvest Festival. I will be a guest silversmith there. Well, a guest craftsman. But silversmithing is what gets me in the door. There will be, they've got full-time craftsmen there, blacksmiths and that sort of thing, but they don't have a silversmith, or they haven't had for maybe 5 years, something like that. And so, as far as I know, I'm the only one that ever comes in there with a claim to working silver. The Harvest Festival starts the middle of September and runs through the month of October. They're bringing me in early, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but they asked me if I would be here for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, somewhere around there, a weekend before, full weekend. It's basically a full week before the regular show starts. And then I haven't heard anything, an update, but the last I talked to the organizer, my load in is October 3rd. So, or not October 3rd, September 3rd. So I'm going to see my daughter in Texas. We're going to meet at a campground north of Dallas-Fort Worth, and then go up to Kansas for a couple of days. And then she'll go back to Texas, and I'll go on to Branson, Missouri. That's where Silver Dollar City's at. And I've got my trailer. I don't normally take my trailer with me, but that's got about 95% of it. The only thing I don't have, well, there are a couple of big pieces of equipment that I don't bring. I bring my rolling mill. I've got a big buffer that's got for buffing jewelry. It's got a huge motor on it, and it's got I've got a shop vac hooked up to it to draw away all the nasty dust, which you don't want to breathe that stuff. That's harsh. It's an abrasive. Jeweler's Rouge. You ever heard of Jeweler's Rouge? It's that little red stuff. They make white and brown and different colors like that. But it's an abrasive, and you put that on a cloth buffing wheel, and it'll turn it red, and then you can you can remove metal with that. it'll take out scratches. It'll do all sorts of fun stuff. I don't usually use that. Most of the time I just sand it. I hand sand. It's a lot slower, but I like the looks of it. Hand sanded versus something that's been through a machine polishing. I prefer the look of hand sanded. But I left that, and I also left my 20-ton hydraulic press. So that means I can't do some things. But I'll be able to, I've got my rolling mill. My rolling mill will let me press out patterns, texture patterns. And those textures are nice. And I do some unusual textures, like tree leaves. I've got bracelets that, if you look at it, and there's some kind of texture on it. But if you look closely, it's tree leaves, real leaves. But anyway, it's Tuesday. This coming Monday will be Labor Day, the 1st of September, and I plan on arriving in Branson Monday afternoon. And that way I can get my camp set up. There's not a whole lot to my setup, but I think I forgot to bring, forgot to bring an awning. I've got a couple more I can make do. This trip, my memory's not as good as it used to be, and I've just been kind of panicking about forgetting to bring stuff. And so far, I've picked up a few things, like the microphone for making YouTube videos. But I remembered to do bring a whole bunch of other stuff, so it'll work out, whatever. I will be showing in Branson, or at Silver Dollar City, there in Branson, until I think my last day is the 27th of October, and that will be the end of the Harvest Festival. And then after I load up and jump in the truck and get back to Virginia again, so I can be back for my wedding anniversary. That's the 1st of November. My first trip to Silver Dollar City, I didn't get back in time. Oops. It's okay though. Anyway, I'm back on the road, and I have started my adventure for Silver Dollar City 2025.